Which is more desirable, being able to bring about change in Washington or having experience in Washington? There's been a lot of talk this presidential campaign about the virtues of being able to bring about change in Washington versus the virtues of having a lot of experience in Washington. Let's look at some new numbers here. Would bring about change in Washington. 93% of Americans said that would be a desirable characteristic. So the idea that a new president could bring about change seems to be one that's really resonating with voters at this time. However, look at this. We included in that long list I told you about the phrase "has a lot of experience in Washington." We find over half, 56% of Americans, say that that would actually be desirable as well. And 57% said it would be desirable if a president had experience in the House or the Senate in Washington, D.C. So in some ways, it looks like Americans want it both ways. They certainly want somebody who will bring about change, but at the same time, at least a majority of Americans recognize that having some experience in Washington is a good thing. A lot of this debate about change versus experience has been within the Democratic contenders for president. So we asked Democrats in the poll, if you had to choose which would be more important for a president that you would vote for, somebody who has experience getting things done in Washington or somebody who has a strong desire to change the system in Washington. And here we find overwhelmingly that Democrats say they would prefer somebody who would bring about change. So these data indicate that the Edwards-Obama strategy of emphasizing change looks like it's something that will really resonate with Democratic voters. And looked at differently, Senator Clinton has to think about how she can counter this argument, because simply emphasizing that she has experience looks like it's not a good counter to the idea of being able to bring about change. Join us again tomorrow here on the Daily Briefing for more fascinating insights from the American public. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Editor-in-Chief of the Gallup poll, with Democracy on Demand.